Okay guys, I'm reviewing this book that actually doesn't have the greatest reviews, but I want to tell you what I think about it. Let's get right into it. For those of you that don't know, and I think everybody on this channel knows if you've even watched 2 videos, that I adore Frida McFadden. Does that mean that I love every one of her books? I don't love all of them, but I would say I like most of them. I love a lot of them. And then there's a few that weren't my favorite, but even the ones that I didn't like a lot, they at least kept my interest. I never am bored with Frida's books at all, okay? But just like any book, if you take an author and they write 30 books, are you gonna love and rave about all 30? It's like a YouTube creator. Let's say they put out 30 videos that month, okay? And there's some that might get really good views, and then there's some that people really aren't that interested in. You don't always know, and it can surprise you what's popular and what's not popular. But this book, I want to review it, but I want to tell you something about it. It's called The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden. I've read it before, but I wanted to reread it again so that I could share it with you. The reason many people don't like it is they say it's similar, and I want to know if you guys have read her. I really like her. I haven't read any of her books recently. I don't even know if she's come out with any new ones. Colleen Hoover, she wrote Verity. I thought that book was really good. A lot of people are like, The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden is exactly Verity and whatever. Well, it's not the exact plot. I read both of them, and the plots are different. There are overlaps, but think about something for a minute. And this is just any book, whether it's historical fiction, but especially thriller, okay? You know, growing up, we didn't have all these people wanting to write thrillers. Thriller seems to be the most popular, you know, type of genre that people love to read. Well, you know what? After a while, coming up with new storylines is going to be kind of a challenge. I mean, like one popular storyline is living in a small town, somebody goes missing. Or, you know, I come back to town to help my mother because my mother's ill, and found out that my sister went missing 10 years ago, and I want to find out what happened to her. You know, things like that. You get a lot of repetition. I mean, it's part of it. Now, some of it, if the story's similar, I mean, you could read 2 stories and one of them you really like, one of them you don't, that have similar plot lines, or you could like both or dislike both, you know? So yeah, there is similarity in all of these stories, no matter what. So it is similar to Verity, but you know what? And some people like The Wife Upstairs better by Frida McFadden. Some people like Verity by Colleen Hoover better. I've read both. I like them both. I think they both bring something different to the table. But I wanted to tell you about The Wife Upstairs. I will tell you this. I don't give you spoilers, but I don't like the ending. That's the one thing that ruins it. I wish I could rewrite the endings of some of these books. Because, you know what? I'm not a very good writer, but I would this not be the funnest if you could work with some of your favorite authors? Like go and have lunch with them, and just sit down and do a brain dump of ideas. They say they're like, I need some fresh ideas. And then they could see if they want to incorporate some of those in a book. Or you could be there to read part of their book and they're saying, I'm not sure where to take this ending. What do you think? And you could have some input on that. Would that not be the coolest? I know this is off topic, but I would absolutely love to like sit down with some of these fabulous authors like, you know, Liv Constantine, or I guess her and her sister, Sherry Lapina, Daniel Hurst, Frida McFadden, you know, so many of these people. I would absolutely love to sit down with them and, you know, give some feedback on books and things, and then maybe learn about what some of their ideas coming up. It would just be fun. Anyway, I know I went rambling off topic, which I do, but I'll just get right into what this book is. Basically, it's about a girl named Victoria, and she's a nurse, and she loves the people she works with. She lives in New York, and she works with some wonderful people, okay? And she has a guy there named Mac, and they're like really good friends, and you'll find out more about that. And so anyway, there's a patient that comes in, and he seems to be crazy about her. Well, they have a whirlwind romance. They get married, okay? But he wants, you know, them to live in a nice house and outside the city. Well, now that they're living outside the city, you know, it would take her hours to travel into New York. and so she has to quit her job. Obviously, she's kind of lonely, so she lives in a great big beautiful home out there, and she's married and all this, you know, to a very charming man. Well, she has a bad fall, okay? Well, when she has a bad fall, she can't walk anymore, and she also can't really talk very well, so she slurs her words, you can't really understand her. So her husband, Adam, meets a woman named Sylvia who comes and comes to care for Victoria at the home. And that's when you find this whole story unravels. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting. So Victoria, because she can't really understand what she says a lot, Sylvia can't understand her, she tells her about her diary. She kind of points to things. And so the story kind of goes back in time when Victoria met Adam, okay? And then it goes to present day, back and forth, and you'll find out what happened with the accident. This whole time, Adam is being very sweet, very compassionate, all of this, and Sylvia is starting to have feelings for Adam. That's all I'll tell you on that. And so it's kind of the story of that. I thought it was really interesting. I enjoyed the book myself. It definitely kept my interest. I would have chosen a different ending though. So let me know if you read Verity by Colleen Hoover. Have you read The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden? If you have, which one do you like better? And I want to know what have been some of your favorite reads in the month of November. I will be doing a November reading wrap-up, and I will tell you I have one book that's my favorite for the month, but I won't tell you until the month ends because I have video ahead. Anyway, that's all, guys. Love you, appreciate you, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.